We've all sent an email that no one responded to, and we've gotten tons of them that we've never responded to. Normally, the answer is we don't have time to respond to it for two reasons. Either we really are super busy, which we probably are, or it's probably a combination of being busy and not really understanding what the email is about, or the email doesn't get to the point and we don't want to sort through 6 paragraphs of what's in the email to try to figure out what's going on. You've been there. Today we're going to talk about how to write better emails. And here's the deal. In modern work, it involves writing, it involves communicating, and very often that communication is done via email because email is kind of the modern version of a paper trail. I almost don't use emails for anything other than business related stuff, always with school, other projects that I'm working in. I never send personal emails, any of that kind of stuff like we used to. When email first came out, we were doing it all the time. Now, nobody sends personal emails. It's all about business. And so the email has to be appropriate to that venue, and rambling long emails aren't work, right? Your email then is very often the thing that people see first or that see most often, and it kind of shows them your competency level. Are you competent? Are you organized? Are you trustworthy? Are you authoritative? Can they trust you? Can they trust your organization? See, bad emails create a lot of friction. Friction means there's going to be a poor response to those emails, but a good email has much less friction, and so you're going to get a better response. Like, I've seen it before. I was in IT leadership for 12 years. We used email for everything, and I teach communication. I teach business communication now in college, and it is the same issue everywhere and all the time, in meetings, in presentations, in emails, in directions and instructions you're giving people. The same point happens over and over and over. And that the problem really is most people just dump information and they kind of decide what to do with it while they're going, while they're talking, while they're writing. And so it doesn't really matter what the medium is. Um, is it an email or is it a presentation? Again, most people think of communication and they think in terms of public speaking and presentations. And yes, I talk a lot about those things, but these principles apply to pretty much any means of communication. So the medium changes, the problem doesn't. We just got to stop dumping information. What we do here, you've done it, I've done it. We open Outlook or Gmail or whatever it is that we're using, and we just start typing. We figure out who we're sending these emails to, and we just start going, hello, how's it going? Just checking in, blah, 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 and kind of just putting thoughts down as we go. Kind of eventually we get there. And basically, what that means is we're discovering the point as we type. Again, the same thing happens when you just get up in front of people and start talking. You're deciding, you're discovering what the point is while you're talking. You're thinking out loud. We're typing out loud. And when that happens, every time the point gets buried somewhere down the line in the email, and people just don't have the time to read it. So I've got a pretty simple solution for you to do it. So the solution really is, as always, clear thinking first. You might ask some questions. What do I want? What do they need? What action do I need the person reading this email to take? Those are some of the questions that you could ask. Because remember, clear thinking equals clear communication. So here's a little framework for you. It's pretty easy to remember. It's called PCA. If you remember these three things, PCA, and what they stand for, then you will always write good emails that will get a better response. The P stands for point. What is the point? No warm up here. No greetings and hello. Well, maybe just a greetings and say, good afternoon, so and so, or whatever. Something super short, super simple. You want to get right to the point. So no warm up, no talking about the office party, no, just saying, hey, just checking on you, wondering how things are going. None of that. No warm up. Just type in, what is it you want? We need to change the meeting from 9:15 to 9:30 on Friday. That's what you want. That's the point. Or I need you to finish these reports by Thursday at end of day. Right? No preamble. Just do it. Just put it out there. The very first thing that the person sees, that's what they want. In fact, that's what I would put in the subject of your email. The same thing. What is the point of your email? That should be your subject. That should be after the little minor greeting. That should also be the first line of your email. That's the P. That's point. PCA. Point. The C is for context. If you need to, but only if you need to, and only what's necessary, add the necessary context. Don't write a book. Don't write a 10-paragraph paper. You're not doing that. Emails should be, a paragraph or two, no more. If they're any longer than that, then there's other ways to communicate those things. So add the necessary context only. That's your C. Point, context, and the A is action. Tell them what you want them to do. So maybe you started with that. Maybe that's the point of the email. Maybe the point of the email is we have better services and here's why, and you bang all those specifics out. And then the end of the email, I want you to call me back by Friday so that we can discuss. I want you to call me today so we can discuss. I want you to finish these reports by end of day so that such and such can take place. Don't leave room for guessing. If you leave room for guessing, they're going to guess. And that means that oftentimes they're going to guess wrong. So you need to, again, tell them up front, put it in your subject, make it the first line of your email. What exactly is it that you are wanting? What is exactly the point that you're trying to get across here? Sales pitch, you need something, you need them to do something, you want to do something, whatever it is. And then give them necessary context. That's the C, the second part. And then tell them what their response to this email needs to be. So you might say, I want you to confirm something. I want you to approve something. I want you to complete something, etc. Whatever that is. Leave no room for guessing. The more specific you are, the more likely you're going to get the response that you want. This is important, people, because look, number one, it just saves time. It saves your time in constructing the email. You're typing a whole lot less. You spend a few minutes thinking about it, and then boom, you go and type the email, and it's very short, and it's very succinct, and it says exactly what you want it to say. You're also saving time on the other end because the people who read that email will be able to instantly understand what it is you're after, and they will be able to act on it right away, put it on their calendar and make a note, whatever it is they do on their side, they'll be able to do it, or they'll be able to confirm, or they'll be able to say, yes, no problem, we're changing the meeting to 9:30. It happens right away. So it saves everybody time. You're not waiting for responses or hoping for responses. You will get those responses. It builds more trust and credibility for you, for your company. This is always desirable in any means of communication, in any business. You want to appear and look credible. Of course, it goes without saying, I hope that you need to actually be credible. And you will get a better response or a better result from that message. It's that simple. Emails are meant to be short and sweet and detailed and then move on. And people get hundreds of them per day. So they got to sort out what's important and what's not. And just putting the little exclamation mark and marking it as important isn't really going to do that. That's helpful maybe, and your business may have protocols for those things. But I'm telling you from personal experience, when I see that, I feel like it's probably a sales call. I don't care. So make the point in the subject, make it the first line, give the context, give the specific action, and you're done. That's it. What's the point? Look, you can go down below in the description here. There's a link to my tract called Track, I should say. I keep making that same mistake over and over. My tract called Track. It's a little guide about track, Track, and that helps you organize your thoughts. We have other videos on this channel that explain what track is in a little bit more detail, but it is a framework that lets you think through and do a little bit of work and effort before you ever write anything down or say anything, so that you have clear thinking, which then leads to clear communication. Thanks.